Aloha and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center on the island of Kauai. We give this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock, and it's recorded on our website, kauaidharma.org. I'm Amitayus, and tonight's teachings will be on the Medicine Buddha as treating the cause of sickness and disease. And also I'm going to give the empowerment and teaching on a form of Chenrezi, Amitayus, which is also for healing and also for wealth, deity practice. And this will be complete with the mantras and seed syllables for both deities. When using Tibetan Buddhist practices and methods, it all comes from your inner guru. And it also is part of your previous lifetimes of training your mind in this tradition. And all of this originated in our time from Shakyamuni Buddha, and the transmission was given in northern India, and then all the Himalayan countries, Tibet, Mongolia, eastern China, and part of Afghanistan. When we do these practices, it's all what we call mind training or retraining. And we do this life after life, so to keep the connection with the outer situation, however it appears, with our inner nature, which is, we call the natural mind. And we do this to deal with the drama of how the outer world interacts with us and the drama of our relationships with others. The main purpose of Dharma, which is the term used for wisdom or insight, is to deal with the emotional preoccupation with self and how we relate to the environment and the beings around it. The main problem is lack of healing, both symptomatic and causal. Symptomatic is what religions are about and what most forms of medicine on the planet pertain to. In the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, we treat both causal and symptomatic. And when we do this, it's to speed up the process of eliminating the pain and suffering caused by the emotional involvement with ourselves, others, and our environment. As you can see, we're not doing too well as a race of sentient beings on the planet today in the human condition. But because of its extreme, there is more power in our practice to deal with it not only on an individual basis, but collectively. And including in the practice is not only all the humans, of which there's about 8 billion on the planet today, but all of the animals and spirits. And those are called sentient beings. When it comes to our practice, I'm going to read an excerpt from my teacher, Kalu Rinpoche's book on his life story. And as I do that, I want you to understand that there's two people in this picture, if you can see it. And one of them is my former teacher that I ran into and started practicing with in 1977. And then he left his body in 1989. And a few years later, he evolved again into the human condition as Kalu Rinpoche again. Now, most people don't believe in the ability of a bodhisattva to do this, but I have first-hand connection to both of these teachers, and I can tell you that basically they're the same mindset. Conditions are different. Their individual method of presenting the Dharma is a little bit different, but same mind stream. So I'm going to read a little bit from Kala Rinpoche's book that puts this into perspective for us, and then we'll take refuge and start to do the practices. This has to do with understanding why and how this works, why we're doing it and how it works. It says, when one is practicing in the tradition of the Bodhisattva, maintaining pride of knowing this as an originally inherent state in oneself, all the form, sound, and thought are realized as the nature of the deity, mantra, and pristine wisdom inherent in our stream of being. This, this infinity vanquishes in fixation on the ordinary reality. The habitual patterns of fixating on a self are drowned out and expelled, and all the attachment, aversion, and obsessions are destroyed at the root through these practices. You are awakened in an unborn Dharmakaya, which is the natural state of your mind, which is all-pervasive. This expression of awareness manifests an array of Sambhogakaya forms, which is the purpose of this class, to present those forms and how to use them. They are simply the states of energy and bliss working together. The deeds of the Nirmanakaya, which is the teacher, man or woman, who manifests as the Dharmakaya, all-pervasive nature, with the teachings of how to use the Sambhogakaya form. These are to be used to tame the mind until the end of samsara. Now, samsara is a word for emotional or judgmental involvement with self and others. It is an indispensable, authentic practice, but what a pity that all those sentient beings throughout space don't realize their true nature in this way and are forever sinking into the great ocean of emotional samsaric suffering. Focusing your compassion with thought is absolutely necessary. Sometimes we think that all their suffering, birth, can cease, and as a result, melt into yourself, and then they become free of suffering. This method is the basis of all Dharma practice. All your own happiness and merit you give to them. And for the time being, they gain happiness and ultimately attain awakening in the same state that you are. Do this with many different kinds of practice, such as taking and sending, called Tonglen. But do all of these practices, even though they are different in presentation, are all of the same nature. And we repeat them again and again as the situations arise around us. This is called the Lord of all purification of obscurations of many, many lifetimes. It is the best of all protections. It is the armor of unconditional love and the helmet of altruistic compassion. Wearing these two together, emptiness vacates the heart of any judgment. Without this, the cause of awakening cannot arise. This is the profound, critical point of all Dharma practice. If the genuine guru who gives all these instructions and especially one who introduces your own mind to the very face of the Buddha. In terms of qualities, the Guru is the crowning glory of the confluence of the abundant ocean of the three roots, the deities, the lamas, and yidams. Now, when I could read on, but you get the message. There are many approaches to mind training in the shamanistic Buddha tradition, and there are four major, what we call lineages, that evolved from the Buddha Shakyamuni. These lineages are all based on unconditional love and altruistic compassion, with the understanding that you must know the nature of your heart mind and use that in conjunction with your headiness, which we call dualistic fixation, and all the judgment that it produces. So these two working together, one evolves gradually into higher and higher states of awareness. There is no ceiling to this. There is no end to the growth. There's no end to the development. And there's no ceiling to these higher and higher states of awareness. But they are all produced as you come into being in the human condition under conditions that change from one world to the next. And in that way, the healing takes place. When you start with Buddhist practice, you start with the altruistic motivation that everything you're doing is for the benefit of all others and for your environment. So that is called the altruistic motivation prayer. And for those of you that have this refuge prayer sheet, we're going to read this together or say this prayer. In order to attain enlightenment for oneself and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now altogether take refuge and when possible offer prostrations. Then we take refuge, which is the support of the three jewels and the three roots. And that prayer goes like this. We go for refuge to all glorious holy Lama. We go for refuge to all their yidams, which are the deities gathered in our mandala practice. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those humans that have conquered their mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha Gurus and their disciples. And we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis who are the protectors and defenders of Dharma. All of these possess the eye of transcending awareness. Then we take refuge in the actual practices of mind training in the Bodhisattvic tradition. And it goes like this. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Then we chant these prayers in Sanskrit, not only for the delivery to all the cultures of the planet, regardless of their situation or what language they speak, but also communicating it to the spirit world, which in the present situation is in a high state of upheaval. Tag dong jowa nanke ta dong yampe samchem tamche dudine jungte jusi jangchu ningpo lachi bibardu. In the refuge, Tao then Lama Dampa Nam La Chap Su Chio Yidam Chokor Gi Latso Nam La Chap Su Chio Sanjay Chong Dende Nam La Chap Su Chio Nam Pe Chur Nam La Chap Su Chio Tao Pe Gandun Nam La Chap Su Chio Tao Wo Gondro Chokyung Sume Sho Yeshe Ki Shendong Dempa Nam La Chap Su Chio. In the Bodhisattva training, Sanjay Chodong Choki Chognam La Jangshu Bardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Dagi Jinso Jipe Sonam Ki Drola Danger Sanjay Drew Parsho. When doing prostrations, which bring your body, speech, and mind together in the Tibetan tradition, it is necessary to not only chant the refuge prayer, but also imagine that all sentient beings are doing the same thing you are, making these prostrations. And in our lineage, we use the refuge tree as the outer visualization of the practice, together with the refuge prayer, which can be said while doing the prostration in either English or Sanskrit. When we do the actual practices based on the prostrations and the refuge and bodhicitta, the altruistic motivation is the theme. So everything is extended from the mind, heart working together through focus outward. And then that's the formal practice. Then when you apply this practice in your worldly activities, post-meditationally, then all of that functions as how you view and entertain your activities based on your Dharma practice. When we do the practice of the Medicine Buddha, we have a basis for this. Besides the loving kindness and compassion, the basis is how do you stay alive? How do you connect to the outer world to support your body? And the key is breath. It is also the breath that communicates how you are internally outside to others. And it is the basis of the mantra, which is the voice of the deity, the voice of your natural mind. So when breathing, we use the three lights breathing practice in connection with the three states of awareness that bring the body, speech, and mind quickly to fulfillment. And the inhale of the breath is done by visualizing white light as the energy of the elements around us coming in as life support into our lungs, filling this area of the body with light. And when we do that, we hear the sound Om. And this is a transmission of the healing energy of the life force of the universe into our body. The second part of the three lights is taking the energy of that, the elemental energy, which is earth, water, fire, air, and space, and passing that through the body, visualizing red light to every atom, every cell in our whole body. And if you can, include your hair if you have. And then those two together are exhaled as blue light out the nose to space. Now the second breath was called the breath of coming together. And this middle breath, the red light, is not only visualized, but you hear the sound ah. So the inhale is done with white light into the lungs, you hear om. Then the energy of all that going through your body, you visualize red light flashing through your body, you hear the sound ah. And then those two sounds and those two colors codes come out your nose as blue light to space, and that's where the all-pervasive nature of mind works through the sound hum. And space is visualized as the color of the sky, your choice of blue. And that's the practice. That gives you the transmission, the empowerment, and the first stage of causal healing. Yes, it's symptomatic, but it also treats the base cause of your emotional affliction. So we're going to start with that, and then we're going to do one of the 5 elements practice, healing practice. So sit with your back straight, eyes open if you can, mouth closed, hands in a comfortable position on your knees or in your lap, head slightly tilted. Inhale, visualize white light filling your lungs, hear the sound om. The absorption breath, visualize red light through your body, hear the sound ah. Bring these two energies together and exhale blue light out the nose, hear the sound hum. We'll breathe like that with that method for a few minutes. With this focus on the 3 phases of breathing, it's good to know that the white light is treating the cause of ignorance. The red light is treating the cause of suffering called attachment. And the blue light is treating the cause of all suffering, aversion. Now these three together produce other very beneficial emotional antidotes. But we start with these three. And then by bringing them into your body, you're establishing those Buddha energy fields with this breathing technique in your form body. And then with that as the basis, the powerful healing breath going out has excellent results. Now we're going to take the focus off of the breath, collect the three lights with the three sounds, and take all that energy into the center of your chest, into your heart energy center called the chakra or bindu. And we collect the three lights and the three vibrational sounds into a point of energy similar to an atom. And that is simply to connect to the infinite energy of light pervading the fabric of boundless space. So you rest in that dimension of being for a few moments before starting the next practice. So really nothing to focus on. You're just in space, which is the Dharmakaya, the nature of your all-pervasive mind. And this is the nature of everything, the entire phenomenal world and your thoughts. Then to start the 5 elements practice, reinvent the particle in the center of your heart chakra, and with your imagination, grow it into a tiny sphere of clear light, like a small bubble. Then expand that until it starts to form one of the 5 elements that you are choosing for this 5 elements healing practice. And tonight we're going to choose fire. Fire is a form of radiation, and all light is radiation, whether it be nuclear or from the sun or from any phenomenal source, such as fire itself. But for us, it also symbolizes the energy of heartfelt warmth for others and for our environment. And we visualize this from the little sphere growing into a 4-sided red pyramid with a base. Now this will become the symbol of this practice, but it also includes the other 4 elements: earth, water, air, and space. Now once you can see this fire symbol labeled that way, about the size of your thumbnail in the center of your chest, then keeping your focus and your imagination working together, which applies to all the practices, bring the symbol out in front of your chest and up before your eyes, about arm's length in front. Imagine it, visualize it there. And this greatly affects these 2 glands and the secretions of whatever substances the brain is generating to pass through your body for healing. Then expand that small symbol, the pyramid, to a size large enough like the room or a large tent. So here you are inside this four-sided pyramid, colored red, absorbing the healing energy of all the element, life force that it represents into your physical form. Now, from this point, the benefit of all practice, of course, as we said before, is for others. So we start to share the infinite healing properties of the elemental nature of life with larger and larger areas of space around it. So the next step is to expand it to completely enclose an area where you are practicing, maybe 25 to 50 miles radius around you. For us here in the islands, we visualize the island and surrounding ocean. But for you in other places, the town, city, or area where you are doing the practice. All of that inside this symbol. And then, of course, the effect is for the countless sentient beings living within that area you are focusing on. Then expand it in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her air, atmosphere, inside. Keeping focus and imagination together, expand the symbol in size to completely enclose our solar system. Billions of miles in every direction. Then expand it to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. Then move beyond the confines of your ordinary mind to include all of space, all of our natural world. And again, you enter into the dimension of the infinite light of the boundless fabric of our universe, space. Timeless in nature and without a center. Having contemplated it in that way, return into your meditation of inventing the symbol, visualizing it enclosing our galaxy. Reduce it in size to just enclosing the solar system. Smaller and smaller to just enclosing Mother Earth. Reduce it in size to just enclosing your area of practice. Your neighborhood. Then again, just visualizing your form body inside, receiving the full healing energy of the life force of all the elements of our entire universe. The word in Sanskrit for this is Dakini. The female or mother principle of life support of our world. Then to end the practice, bring the symbol to in front of your eyes in its original small form, 2 feet in front. Bring it to chest level into your heart center. Receiving the full energy into your heart chakra, condense it inside, shrink it. And as it gets smaller and smaller, it again assumes the tiny sphere of clear light. Then smaller and smaller till it attains a point similar to an atom and disappears into the infinite light of the fabric of boundless space. Relax, no meditation. Contemplate space. Having developed your awareness and increased your healing abilities in this way, bring the awareness to in front of your eyes and expand it into the area of or room of your practice. Then dedicate the merit to all living beings. And this is the first of 2 methods of practice tonight, the 3 lights meditation and the 5 elements. And this practice evolves from the Tantra of the Medicine Buddha taught by all the lamas, and specifically by my root lama, Kala Rinpoche. It is an extremely powerful practice, and actually no formal empowerment is necessary to teach others this very valuable method. Now those 3 lights that we use, those 3 vibrations of Om, Ah, and Hum, are actually Buddha energy fields that we are engaging. And they are carrying the antidote to the 3 most basic causes of all suffering: ignorance, attachment, and aversion. based on the judgment call of good, bad, and indifference. When we do these practices, this becomes the transmission for whatever Buddha symbol or Bodhisattva symbol we engage to reactivate your natural mind, and in that way slowly and deliberately transfer your emotional preoccupations with self, others, and the environment into the natural state where none of that exists. It's the same mind, and it has these two functions, but we treat them as two separate activities. And in that way, we can grow, develop, and evolve into higher states of awareness and leave the drama world behind. So Om, Ah, Hum are these three sounds. Om, Ah, Hum. And so the transmission of this tonight, we start with the Medicine Buddha. Now the Medicine Buddha is all the lamas, all the deities, all the methods, both sutra and tantra, and whatever healing modalities that we use for various situations and disease. And it's very appropriate for the COVID-19, which is going on globally. And it involves every human on the planet. So when we do the Medicine Buddha, because of the situation we have today, the altruistic motivation of one's Buddha's nature is obvious. We're all in this together. There's no such thing as separation. You can go anywhere on the planet and it's the same situation. And what we call tourism has become obsolete. It's no longer appropriate for us to indiscriminately go wherever we please. And so in this way, called social distancing, and with these practices, we can treat this situation with skillful means. And that's it. It's come down to these methods. So this is a statue presented to me by one of my students of the Medicine Buddha with the medicine bowl in his lap. Right hand over the right knee, and the earth-touching gesture, same as Shakyamuni Buddha. But the medicine bowl is the source of blessings and beneficial transmission of actions that you can use with your body, speech, and mind to treat whatever unhealthy situation your karma is presenting. So the Medicine Buddha is the same as the Guru. The Guru sits on top of your head. Actually, the Guru is in your heart. So with these two positions, something in between is called the head. The judgmental situation of mind starts to correct in a very gentle and joyful way. And it works. Yesterday I turned 82, so I'm kind of a symptom, living proven activity of this. The Dalai Lama and I have chosen to live to 113. But at the same time, we keep in mind that we don't know which comes first, the next breath or the next life. And that should be the basis of all of your practices. It becomes an inspiration to do the practice all the time, every day, from now on. So when doing the Medicine Buddha, the exhale, the hum that we use with the three lights, together with the healing qualities of the five elements, are expanded with the mantra, which is the sound of what is taking place inside, expressed with your voice outside to others, the world around you. And that is called mantra. And there's no judgment in this. There's no attachment, no aversion, no ignorance, delusion, pride, arrogance, no hope, no fear, no anxiety, none of that. It's not necessary. And the mantra is Tadyata Om Bhikanzi, Bhikanzi, Maha, Bhikanzi, Rajda Samangate Soha. And when you say this mantra, you visualize the home in the same place that you had that point of light with the five elements, where the symbol appeared. So the symbol of this practice is this vibratory energy. And when you are sounding the mantra circles the home as an expression that this is applied to every living being in the universe, all the spirits, all the animals, and all the humans taking birth throughout our world. None left out. And without any judgment of high or low or good or bad or indifferent, ignorant. So now we'll start the practice. To receive the empowerment and start your practice, simply visualize your root Lama as a representative of all the Lamas, all the Gurus from Shakyamuni Buddha down through all the lineages to the present day, unchanged. Then from the teacher in front, man or woman, Guru, of this tradition, the Bodhisattva training tradition, white light comes from the teacher's head into your head with the sound Om. This gives you the first empowerment of being that which you are imagining, a Buddha. And in that way, whatever symbol arises is appropriate. That's applied to your body. Then red light is visualized from the teacher's throat to your throat with the sound Ah, and that's what we call the initiation of the speech of mantric sound to produce the healing effect, not only for others, but the environment around it. Then from the teacher Guru in front, blue light from the heart chakra to your chakra with the sound Hum is the wisdom empowerment so that you understand what you are doing and how to apply it, not only symptomatically, but to cut the root cause of all emotional affliction, judgment. Then you see all three lights shining at the same time, and this brings the fourth empowerment of the Guru in front merging into you. Then the three lights are centered in your head, throat, and heart chakra. And the white Om in your head moves down into the red Ah, the red Ah down into the blue Hum. And in this practice, that's the Medicine Buddha's seed syllable of all pervasive, infinite application of the practice. So you're moving into a state of being of infinite potential, infinite possible positive possibility occurrences. So imagination and focus working together, visualizing the home in your heart center, you sound the mantra and you see it circling around the home. It is stationary and the letters face outward. The home and that mantra fill your body of the Medicine Buddha, and light shines, healing energy moves out from you in every direction in the same manner the sun sustains life in our solar system. Om, om, om. Om, 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 om. Om, om, om. So I'm doing that 10 times. The first 3 are for your body, speech, and mind. The next 4 homes are for your body, speech, and mind to come into union with that of your guru. And with those 2, the final 3 is your body, speech, and mind becomes the 3 kayas of a Buddha, the 3 vehicles of body, speech, and mind of all the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. Om, om, om. Om, 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 om. Om, om, om. Then you start the practice of the mantra. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rajda Sambhangate Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Maha Bikanzi Rajda Sambhangate Soha. Tadyata Om Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rajda Samungate 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 Soha. Om Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rajda Samungate Soha.
Om Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Rajda Samungate Soha.
Om Bikanji Bikanji Maha Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Maha Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Maha Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyadom Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Tadyadom Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyadom Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata 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 Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tadyata Om Bikanji Bikanji Ma Bikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Besides the Medicine Buddha bowl of awareness, which is the natural mind's transformation of your judgmental, we call it, emotional drama mind, we also have the Medicine Buddha holding the myrobalan herb, which is used for symptomatic treatment of all illness, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And we have many different plant herbs available worldwide, but this symbolizes that this particular type of plant, all of it is useful. The leaves, the flowers, the stem, the roots, bark, everything. So like that, the Dharma treats all forms of conflict, emotional disturbance, and any symptomatic effect, physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. So with that, we keep the Hung in the heart center, the mantra stationary, the energy of both flooding our Buddha symbol, and goes to every sentient being in the 4 states of the spirit world and on every planet where humans and animals take birth. Tajadom Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Raja Samagate Soha 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 Tajadom Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Tajadom Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Raja Samagate Soha 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 Tajata Om Bikanzi Bikanzi Ma Bikanzi Raja Samagate Soha. Now the mantra Tadyata collects all the wisdoms of all the Buddhas of the 3 times and all the Gurus. And when we say Om, that collects all of the life force of the universe in the same way it did with the 3 lights healing. And when we say Bikanzi, that the blue energy of the Medicine Buddha is applied to the body. The second Bikanzi is to the speech, and the third one, Maha Bikanzi, to the mind. Maha means great. Then Samungate Tad Razda means wealth and good health pervade our stream of being. Samungati with awareness that there is no such thing as drama mind. It's an invention. It's a is this habitual tendency that we in the human condition have put into our evolutionary process through many, many, many thousands of years on this planet. And it's counterproductive. So it is being slowly erased or transformed is a better word. And any negative consequences deleted. All karmic afflictions, the energy of that transformed into higher and higher states of healing awareness. And in this way, we treat whatever condition or situation arises as caused by us taking birth in the human world, either as what we call the lotus birth of a bodhisattva or the karmic birth of an ordinary human being. So all of that is the state that we are using these methods to heal physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, body, speech, and mind. There's nothing beyond that. There's nothing to accomplish beyond that. And since these situations continually arise that require healing, our situation is timeless in applying these healing remedies. No base, no ceiling, no middle. So now we take all the sentient beings that we've been applying to this, especially what's going on this planet in our time, all of that energy into the home and mantra in our heart. Then all the sentient beings with their afflictions disappear into your symbol of the Medicine Buddha. You, as the Medicine Buddha, disappear into the mantra. Tadyata Om Bhikansi Bhikansi Maha Bhikansi Rajda Samangate Soha. Soha means always healing, always increasing in good health and wealth. Equally applied to every living being. Then you, as the Medicine Buddha, together with the mantra, all of that into the home in a 5-color sphere of light. This 5-color sphere is the 5 Dhyana Buddha antidotes and the 5 elements, all in rainbow color around the home. Then the home and the 5 color sphere either shrink to a point of light into space or expand to the totality of infinite boundless space, or simply disappear in the present moment of timeless awareness. In this state, there is no judgment, and since there's no judgment, there's only bliss. Relax, enjoy. No meditation. So when you practice these tantric and sutra, whether it be bodhisattva or Buddha images, male or female, they're all equal. They all have the same healing propensity to treat not only the symptomatic appearance of disease, but the cause. So in that way, we attain the result. And with the Medicine Buddha practice, the visualization and the seed soluble home and the projection of light to the 6 realms, the 4 spirit world, and the 2 of the karmic births on planets of animals and humans, these 6 conditions are all equal in their pain and suffering. And therefore, they are all equal in the treatment of removing pain and suffering. So you can imagine that in many ways. We have one practice called Tonglen, where we use the imagination and focus individually and collectively to take away whatever negative pain or suffering is occurring in an individual or a group into your heart chakra, disappearing it, and then emanating light back to that individual or group, and see them totally healed. It's called Tonglen, but it is the 8th level of the protector practices that cause it to be effective. And by that I mean, yes, you are doing the practice, but the protectors and dakinis are the ones that are actually performing the healing result. In that way, you don't build a big ego of actually thinking you're the one causing the result. So this is a protection against egocentric mind, subject-object dichotomy, judgment. Because when you make a judgment, it doesn't work. It's counterproductive. If you say something's good, then an emotional energy arises from that judgment, from the thoughts. And then if you say something's bad, again. But the problem is it's not universal. One person's good is another person's bad. So that causes division, divisiveness. And that's what pervades all levels of our society on this planet. Politics, social engagements, family, corporations, military, religions, all judging. It's not working. And it's come down to the situation that we are enduring today. I would like to present another very powerful healing practice, which is not often presented by the lamas. It's called Amitayus, which is a form of the Bodhisattva Chenrezig. And it has its own mantra, but it's the same seed soluble as Chenrezig, which is the Hri, which is this symbol. And the reason I'm presenting this is because, again, one of my students presented me with the statue of this deity, which we actually did this practice for 1 month in retreat. And during our retreat, we had very little sickness or disease. And 10 men, 10 women, did this practice. And it's the red Chenrezig sitting with what they call the medicine bumpa, which is a vase filled with different kinds of herbs and relics and so forth used for healing in the Tibetan tradition. And he's sitting in the posture of Amitabha Buddha, which is right hand on top of left, thumbs touching in the lap. Then, when you do this practice, the energy of this causes not only healing on all levels, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, but good karmic accumulation of what is necessary for you to attain enlightenment in the case of wealth, and how to use it to benefit others, alleviating their pain and suffering, which is what all of our practice is about. Bringing them to understand the true nature of their mind is they're simply Buddhas. Everyone is a Buddha, potential, and then to alleviate whatever physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual obstructions they have that cause pain and suffering. So this emanates from the heart of Amitabha, the Buddha of discerning awareness, which is the antidote to attachment, which is very hard to overcome. The seed soul is Shri, which is the same as Amitabha and Chenrezig. Shri symbolizes infinite light. Huh? Oh. And the mantra is Om Amirani Za Wantaye Soha. And I'll say it slowly so you can spell it out. But it is all 5 states of awareness, all 5 Dhyana Buddhas, in union with all the Dakini energy of the 5 elements, which is the vast, open light of space, our universe. So these 2 together, and the 5 Dhyana Buddhas are symbolized in the crown. The top knot is the Vajra. I already explained the Bumpa. The legs are in full lotus. And I've got a picture of the guru. And the Shri is the seed syllable. And the mantra is Om, Ah, Mi, Ra, Ni. So Ami, Ra, Ni. Za, which is the sound of infinite accumulation of good health and wealth throughout all lifetime. Wentaye Soha means applied to everyone in the environment timelessly, with no beginning, middle, or end, to all sentient beings, all the animals, all the humans, and all the spirits. And in the practice, since it's a bodhisattva image, you apply it to yourself and every being you have karma with. First of all, your mother in front, you and mother in front, Amitayus. Oh, and Amitayus is spelled Amitius.
Can you say it again?
Ami.
The whole mantra.
Oh, Om, Ami, Rani, Za, Wen, Tai, Ye, So, Pa. Om, Ah, Mi, Ra, Ni, Za, Wen, Tai, Ye, Soha. Wentaye means applied to 6 realms of environment, whatever environment your planet has. Healed. Yea means no limit, infinite application, infinite potential, beyond conceptual mind, beyond the limits of the conceptual mind that's emotionally involved with what they think, with delusion, stupidity, and bewilderment, and so forth. So this is the antidote to, and for people that are into modalities of healing, this is very practical practice. The mantra should be accumulated using a mala, and 1 round of the mala is 1 practice session. The 3 in your heart center, and then every sentient being, all the humans, all the animals, all the spirits throughout the entire universe are this form of Chenrezi. Om Ami Rani Za Wentaye Soha. Om Ami Rana Zai Wentaye Soha. Om Ami Rana Za Wentaye Soha. Om Ami Rani 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 Za Wentaye Soha. And to receive the empowerment, which we call the Wong, and the tree, which is how to visualize and do the practice, and the Loom, which is the power of the speech for the mantra. Visualize your root lama in front, and from the lama's forehead, white light comes into your forehead with the sound Om. This establishes the deity in your physical body, transformed into the illusory body of Amitayus, red Chenrezi. Then the red light from the lama's throat with the sound Ah comes into your throat for the empowerment of the mantric application of your voice. and the guidance that goes with it and the healing energy. Then blue light from the longest throat in front into your heart is the wisdom energy of how to use this, apply it, and receive blessings. Then when the three lights are shining simultaneously, the Lama merges into you. So the union of the body, speech, and mind of the Guru enters into you like water into water. With this fourth empowerment, you become Amitayus. Then visualizing your mother in front as the deity equal to you, mirror-like application, then you apply it to all your relatives, friends, lovers, everybody you have karma with this life, including adversaries and enemies. Then all the humans on the planet today, 8 billion, and all of the animals in the ocean and on the land. Now you expand this visualization out as all these beings, as this light body of this deity. Then you expand it to the 4 spirit worlds which inhabit our entire universe. All the heavenly realms, celestial spirits, all the war and war god spirits, all the deprived spirits, and all the demonic spirits. All of these, Amitaya. When your mind is filled with this mandala of deities and light, then the mantra activates in your heart. And these syllables, Om, Ami, Rani, Zawantaye, Soha, move clockwise when you say the mantra, and the light blasts through your body. The letters face outward. And then you light up your universe like the sun lights our universe. And every being in your mandala is doing exactly the same thing you are, equal in power, insight, and compassion. All of this is to grow, develop, and evolve with power, insight, and compassion working together. In this way, body, speech, and mind is totally transformed into that of your Buddha nature. Om Mami Rana Zaiwantai Soha. 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 Om Mami Rani Zawantai So. 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 You are red in color with the 5 chakra lights all lit up. Om, Ah, Om, Sham, Hri. Ram, Lam, Vam, Yam, Mam. And you're emanating radiant light equal to the sun, healing everything in all directions, everything and everyone, all conditions. There are 170 million viruses. All of them are controlled by the spirit world. Om, Ami, Rani, Zawantaye, Soha. Now pacified. Om, Ami, Rani, Zawantaye, Soha. Om Mami Rani Zawantai So. Om Mami Rani Zawantai So. Om Mami Rani Zawantai Soha. Specifically apply this to the spirit world and the animals which cause these viruses to be transmitted between the humans and animal karma. Om Mami Rani Zawantai Soha. 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 And for collecting 111,000 of this mantra, visualizing yourself in the free sound in your heart with the mantra circling, Om Mami Rani Zawantai Soha. 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 Mami Rani Zawadai Soha. Om 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 Mami Rani Zawadai Soha. Mami Rani Zawadai Soha. Om Mami Rani Zawadai Soha. Om Mami Rani Zawadai Soha. Then all of the deities in your mandala are all sentient beings. So all of the spirits as Amitayus, all of the animals, all of the humans, infinite number of sentient beings in the universe all dissolve into you as the central deity. Inseparable from your guru, you as Amitayus disappear into the heart mantra. All the souls of the heart mantra, one by one, enter, dissolve, starting with the Om, A, Mi, Ra, Ni, Za, Wen, Tai, Ye, Soha, all dissolve into the creation sound of the free. Surrounded by a five-color sphere of light, it disappears entirely into space. And you rest in that dimension of your being. No meditation. Simply relax in joy, in bliss, in the present moment of timeless awareness. This is the completion stage of the deity as infinite light, applied to every situation and condition in karmic existence. Thoughts, sensual perception, and all phenomena. these tantric practices are twofold practice. One is to reorganize or transform your drama mind. That's the mantra, seed syllable, and the deity, affecting your body, speech, and mind's transformation. The second stage is connecting with that practice to the Buddha nature of your natural mind, which all of us possess. And when you accept this and have confidence in it, there's nothing more to accomplish. So that's called the accomplishment stage of tantric practice. And it simply means that whatever you think and however you act with your body, speech, and mind according to your thinking is absolutely unnecessary. So you have the relative to thinking and the absolute, or we say ultimate, non-thought, voidness. And we use that term because there's no emotional distortion in your Buddha natural mind. The distortion comes in the drama world from your delusionary thinking with judgment to every thought that arises. It's a habitual affliction. It's a disease. And all disease, lucky for us, has an antidote. And these practices are the antidote. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, all together, both symptomatic and cause, is Dharma practice. And since it's an infinite universe that we live in, with infinite amounts of pain and suffering, and an infinite number of sentient beings continuously arising and disappearing, it doesn't look like any end in sight. So tonight's practice, post-meditationally, you're the Yidam practice that the Lama has, your teacher, gurus have given you to do. Chenrezig, Tara, Medicine Buddha, taking and sending, 5 elements, 3 lights, all of it, continual night and day. The dream state, unnecessary. The waking state, all accomplishment. So, however you approach your practice, at whatever time of your 24-hour day, be the deity. Connect to the rainbow body of your natural mind. Now I'm going to read the dedication prayers for the practice tonight. And these were given to us by my teacher, Kala Rinpoche. And it has 3 parts. The first part is called the Great Being, the 8 thoughts of the Great Being, as a dedication prayer. It says, by the power and truth of great compassion of the excellent objects of refuge, which are the 3 jewels and 3 roots, and that by the power of this merit of practice of pure altruism, may I completely remove every misery of pain and suffering of all living beings who fill the sky. By the perfect virtues of this world and of nirvana, may the hopes and desires of all beings fulfilled according to their appropriate wishes. May my own body, flesh, blood, and skin, and so forth appropriately benefit all living beings and my environment. And may the miseries of all my old mothers, all living beings, come upon me. May all my happiness, virtue be realized by them. For as long as I remain in this world, may there never arise for even an instant the thought of harming others or my environment. For the sake of living beings, may I energetically exert myself, not slacking for even an instant. Then this next one is a dedication prayer using the power of these practices. By practicing in this way, and by the power of these virtuous actions, and the love and kindness of my parents to me, and the teachings of the two bodhicittas by my lamas, and my commitment to all my Vajra brothers and sisters, and the connection between myself and all men and women, animals and spirits, and possessions, and even those of beasts of burden from which I take milk, yogurt to drink, and the animals whose flesh and blood I eat. To all of these, without leaving one behind, may they quickly reach the sublime and perfect state of Buddhahood. So that's the second prayer. The third prayer it says, through my practices, without discouragement, weariness, or any cause, may I gain the ability to effortlessly bestow whatever is desired by being, or poor, hungry, or thirst. May I take upon myself the great suffering of beings who suffer unbearable torments of hells and other miserable realms, including the celestial. And may all these beings attain liberation. May they progress in spiritual growth, and may I be skilled in means with regard to arranging auspicious circumstances. May all my connections with beings be meaningful. May this ocean of samsara become empty. May all attain the clear light of the Dharmakaya, which is what these practices were about tonight. And may I accomplish this dedication of merit, just as all the Buddhas of past, present, and future have dedicated their merit. Until the attainment of Buddhahood, may I be born in good families, be free from mental illness, possess clear faculties, and conduct myself with morality and introspection. May I be respected by all and fulfill all the hopes and wishes of living beings. As long as I have not manifested enlightenment, may all harm from disease, evil spirits, harmful forces, humans, wild animals, demons, and the four elements become completely pacified. May my lifespan and merit increase, and glory and wealth become vast. Then my renown as a Lama equal the sky. May all the activities of body, speech, and mind become beneficial for all sentient beings. And may this ocean of samsara, emotionality, and judgment become completely empty. May I attain perfect enlightenment right now in this place. Kewa di nirdu da, chagya chenpo drubirne, towa chinking malu pa, deyi sala gopar sho. Sanjay kusum dimpai jemla don, shoni megur dimpai jemla don, kendu miche dumpai jemla ki, chitar gomwa monlong ju par sho. By this virtue of having realized Mahamudra, may I quickly establish all beings without a single exception in that state, by the blessing of the three bodies of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of this Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of us, the Sangha, being unwavering, may this and all dedication prayers be fulfilled. May all the Lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity. May all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be removed from suffering, established in happiness and bliss and equanimity. And have fun doing it. Tashi Dele, aloha. E Maho. And thank you very much for joining this class and doing these practices tonight for the benefit of all the beings on this planet.